The creators of the $7 billion Oakland Bridge could have gone to jail, and the reason will leave you in shock. This massive bridge in California, which connects two major parts, has one of the most controversial histories for a piece of infrastructure so big. So what is the dark history behind it? Why is it so controversial? Let's check it out. The historic Bay Bridge. The San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge epitomizes the ambition of 20th century engineering. It was completed in 1936 and spanned 8.4 miles across the San Francisco Bay, connecting two active regions, San Francisco and Oakland. It was designed as a dual-deck structure with automobile traffic on the upper deck and train traffic on the lower deck. Revolutionary for its time, the configuration provided an effective means of meeting growing demand from urban transport and regional trade. It served as a lifeline to commuters, businesses, and cross-bay trade for decades, becoming the vital artery of California's economy. Beyond functionality, the Bay Bridge symbolizes progress, innovation, and the power of human ingenuity during the Great Depression era. However, this huge structure had its downsides. Its design, though revolutionary for the 1930s, did not foresee the seismic conditions of California. A part of the eastern span of the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge collapsed on October 17, 1989, during the devastating Loma Prieta earthquake and sent ripples of fear throughout the region. It was an alarming reminder of the risks that aging infrastructure poses, particularly in an earthquake-prone zone. This catastrophic failure brought massive disruptions for the Bay Area, underlining the need for urgent action. It also raised broader concerns about the safety of California bridges and highways. Engineers and lawmakers had a preliminary plan that was to retrofit the available structure, but the extent of damage and inherent weakness in its original design made that seem far from enough. Extensive analysis and debate led to the monumental decision to rebuild the Bay Bridge's eastern span entirely. This proved to be a decision of both technical and symbolic nature. A visionary design. More than just being a replacement for the old eastern span of the Bay Bridge, the new design should prove itself to be a combination of aesthetics and cutting-edge seismic technology that will guarantee beauty as well as safety. The new eastern span is the ultimate modern engineering marvel. A self-anchored suspension SAS bridge, it stands out from the others with its 525 single-foot tower supporting 200 cables in a striking lattice pattern that combines beauty and strength. These cables add a certain attractiveness to the bridge, but they also play a crucial role structurally. Their configuration ensures that the deck is well suspended with an even distribution of load while allowing dynamic forces of seismic activity. The SAS system is specifically designed for unique seismic challenges in that area. Its design allows swaying, flexing, and absorption of seismic shock, thereby avoiding catastrophic failures during earthquakes. This saves the structure from damage, but at the same time, provides much-needed safety to the thousands that pass over the bridge every day. From $1.4 billion to $7 billion. This was when the new eastern replacement of the Bay Bridge was first proposed. The estimated price then was $1.4 billion. This sounded reasonable for an undertaking of such importance, committed to making a transport link safe and resilient. However, as construction began, costs shot up to an astronomical $7 billion. What has changed? Seismic safety upgrades. For the new design, engineers wanted to include advanced features such as a massive deep concrete foundation that can anchor the bridge firmly into the unstable bay soil. These foundations reach over 300 feet into the ground, withstood many more powerful earthquakes than were anticipated for this site, and were made to flex and sway during seismic events without catastrophic damage. Hinges designed to dissipate energy and shock absorbers completed the design, resulting in tens of millions added to the bottom line, but providing value through the protection of life and the integrity of the structure. Material challenges. Steel for the tower needed to meet untested standards in quality and durability so that it could withstand the seismic shock and marine environment. A significant portion of this specialty steel was imported from China and Japan. Wages of labor. The construction project lasted for more than 15 years and utilized thousands of workers with different specialities. The long period took a toll on the labor costs, multiplied by overtime expenses needed to complete the project on time, therefore making the budget inflated. Seismic isolation bearings. The major innovation of the new eastern span is seismic isolation bearings. These are wide flexible pieces positioned at key structural points on the bridge where it can move with the thrust generated by an earthquake's vibration. These bearings decouple the bridge deck from the motion of the ground, absorbing and dissipating seismic energy as it directly transfers the force through the foundations into the ground. Deep foundations. The bridge's foundations are evidence of the latest innovative engineering. Super heavy concrete piles were driven over 300 feet into the bay floor to secure the structure in a rock foundation. This would keep it stable against shifting soils and seismic forces prevalent in the area. Such deep foundations have ensured that the bridge would have withstood the powerful earthquakes that periodically shake the region without having structural integrity compromised. Energy-dissipating hinges. Sustainability and longevity. Besides seismic reliance, sustainability was the central theme in the construction of the bridge. The eastern span was designed for 100 years, using high-strength materials such as specialty steel and concrete mixes, which are resistant to corrosion and environmental degradation. Environmental considerations. The project also balanced the protection of the sensitive Bay Area ecosystem in San Francisco. Engineers minimized contamination of construction materials and avoided underwater noise when piles were driven to ensure marine life. The design also incorporated pathways for pedestrians and bicycles, an inspiration to use more ecological ways of commuting, and also provided an environmentally friendly alternative for vehicle traffic. The Bay Bridge Trail, a pedestrian and cycle path, has transformed the eastern span into more than just a mere commuting hub. The sure views of the San Francisco skyline and the Bay Area are enjoyed by locals and tourists alike and provide an added recreational dimension to the utility of the bridge. Lessons learned? The story of the Bay Bridge's eastern span contains profound lessons in the complexities of large-scale infrastructure projects. It's a story that interweaves victories and suffering, creativity and failure, reminding us of the problems in building for tomorrow. The bridge is not just a connector between communities, but is also a symbol of strength, ingenuity, and the human spirit to rise against all odds. A test of human ingenuity. Despite the setbacks and controversies, the east span of the Bay Bridge represents an engineering and architectural wonder. The choice to implement a self-anchored suspension system was indeed bold, exemplifying a dedication towards the harmonization of functionality with beauty. Radiating with 200 suspension cables, the single-tower design symbolizes a visual feat of engineering, bold architectural statement, an icon of progress, resilience, and innovative spirit from the Bay Area. Resilience beyond the structure. Resilience is the main story about steel and cables in the case of the Bay Bridge's eastern span. It came up following the catastrophic Loma Prieta earthquake that hit California in 1989. The decision to do a complete rebuild entirely from scratch for this eastern span rather than the approach of retrofitting, that means we'll learn from the kind of past tragedy while one is building one good enough to stand the storms. The people of California, however, were ready to overlook the project's final controversies and delays, as the project symbolized something very important lifeline for trade, travel, and daily commutes. Completion means the collective will to create something that endures and stands the test of time and nature. The Bay Bridge teaches us that growth hurts. Big infrastructure projects are complicated and there is bound to be a mistake or a miscalculation or two, but they also offer an opportunity to innovate, adapt, and learn. As the world increasingly faces challenges from urbanization, climate change, and natural disasters, the story of the Bay Bridge can be a very important guide for future projects. Take a moment to appreciate not only the vision and effort put into every steel cable and concrete pillar, but also the lessons to be learned while driving, biking, or walking across the Bay Bridge. The Bay Bridge is not a structure, it's a declaration of human capacity to dream, build, and endure. So what do you think about the $7 billion price tag? Was it worth it, or could the funds have been used elsewhere? Let me know in the comments below. Your thoughts keep the conversations going. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Bay Bridge, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating infrastructure stories. And if you're curious about another monumental project, check out our video about the new crown jewel of Las Vegas. Trust us, you won't want to miss these incredible details and innovations that make the stadium a game changer. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.